What's up, guys? Mad Rambles, day 21. 3 weeks. 3 fucking weeks, man. It's been good. Today's a bit weird one. It's a bit late, so it's not as early as normal. Just trying to get it done before I forget. And so I can stay consistent and keep going past 21, get to day 100. It is a bit darker, but still, you can see me. I'm in the screen. I'm actually going to turn the fucking around again because otherwise it'd be a weird video. Professionalism and all that. That's better. Okay. So, I said this week I would detail when talking. You can kind of see, and video professionalism. So detail when talking, and so you can kind of see me. So that's that. Last week was sound more enthusiastic and come with an idea. So today's idea is pushing yourself further than you think through competing with yourself. I heard a quote one time from Conor McGregor. He said, if you compare yourself to others, you'll become bitter. If you compare yourself to yourself, you'll become better. And that's applicable in every walk of life. So many people in today's society look at who's great on the screen, look at who's great in their lives, and they compare themselves to them, try to emulate them and be like them and do the things that they're doing. No matter who it is, people see on Instagram, they're like, oh, this dude's, oh yeah, he's living with all these girls, man, my life sucks. Or they see on YouTube, they're like, oh, this guy's doing this with this business, oh, it sucks. Oh, this footballer on sports made this amount of money, oh, I'm shit. When in reality, you're not competing against them. And this took me a while to figure out. Because naturally, I think we always want to compete with the person next to you. Especially when you're growing up, you see brothers, cousins, fathers, other male role models, and you try beat them. You try out compete them. For whatever reason, you just do. And I feel like that's across the board with men. But you have to realise the only healthy in here and best way to get the most out of yourself is by competing with yourself. And I'm at fault for not doing this a lot my whole entire life. It's only recently I've known it for maybe a year or two, but it's only recently in the last few months I've tried to implement it all the time. So I always try to imagine what would I do? What would another version of me do? What would the weak version of me do? Whenever I'm running, I think, oh, they'd stop. I'm competing them. I'm not going to stop. And then I say to myself, okay, I'm going to run 2 miles or 5 miles or whatever the distance, half an hour, whatever it is, 25 minutes. And I say to myself, I'm running 25 minutes. And the me that would just be average sits there and goes, cool, 25 minutes, runs for 25 minutes. But then when 25 minutes runs round, I run 5 minutes more. And I run 5 minutes more to prove to myself that I could have stopped. In an alternate reality, the Keelan that wanted to be average would have stopped at 25. Because he said he'd run 25 and he's achieved what he said. The weak Keelan would have gone and been like, alright, cool. 15 minutes in, I've ran 15 minutes, I'll just give up now. But they won't achieve anything. Then the person that might be okay, might be average, might achieve some success, but nothing really, they'd sit there and be like, cool. I've run 25 minutes, good. But me, I ran 30. Why did I run 30? To prove to myself that I'm better than I think I am, and also to prove to myself that I'm willing to go through the struggle to be better than every other reality of me. That I'm willing to put that extra stuff that I don't need to. I didn't need to out here and I didn't need to in here to be satisfied. I did it because I want to be better and I'm competing against myself. And I think when you can start to do that and build it up to the point where you're doing it in a variety of aspects in your life, that's when you can really start to see change. And I've noticed it myself. With the gym, for example. I mainly do it in the gym at the moment, trying to implement it in other areas of my life, but I'm most prolific with it in the gym. And when I'm in the gym, I sit there, I'm like, oh, cool, pushing, whatever it is, running, cardio, weights, even stretching. I sit there and think, oh, cool. I did this, cool, I've achieved what I said I'd do. So now I've got beyond that. When I feel like I can give up, I don't. And that links to what I've said in recent days about discomfort. Constantly saying, choose the discomforting option. Choose the hard option. And when you can do that, that's where you see results far greater than what you believe you would achieve. Because when I'm out there pushing and I sit there, and in my brain, in a split second, I'm thinking, alright, cool, I said I'd do 8 reps, or I said I'd run for 25 minutes. The comfortable option is just to take the win. Take the win. I've said I've done what I said. All the discomforting thing is to run 30. And normal me would just run 25. So that's why I'm going to do those 10 reps, 2 extra reps. I'm going to run those extra 5 minutes. So it's 30 minutes. I'm going to do those little extra things. Because from one thing I've learned is those little moments, they are the championship rounds, as people say. Those little details are where champions are made. And those little extra miles just to get yourself a little over the hump is the difference from being someone who's very good and someone who's the best. Or someone who was almost there and someone who achieved everything. And when you can compare yourself to yourself, it's a forever battle. So you know you can always keep getting better, which is the beauty of it. But also in the same framework, you're running the same race. You know, if you're comparing it to yourself is still doing the same things that you're doing because it is you. And the problem when we compare ourselves to other people, we compare ourselves to other people that has no relevance to us. And that's where we drift around and snake around in life, and we don't stay in one lane. And I think Hormozy's talked about this. They touched on it briefly, but Hormozy touches on this, and he says the 3 keys to winning and any successful person they found is someone who has a motivator, something to push them, something to go towards, something that's dragging them towards, so a success, a desire, and they stay in the lane. I've talked about this before. They stay in their lane. They have peace with the path and they just accept and go. But when you compare yourself to other people, you're all over the place because you don't have that peace with the path. You could be sat here say you're doing copywriting, you're working your ass off, and then all of a sudden you see someone who's same age as you, same place as you, same whatever as you, race, whatever, looks like you, who cares, and they've made like fucking 2 million a month through ecom, and then you'll sit there and think, shit, I've got to do ecom. So you get up and you do ecom, and you're doing your ecom, and then a month goes by, and you build momentum, and then a month goes by, and then you see someone do SaaS, and you're sitting there, he's made 3 million a month. Well, I've made nothing. So then you go do that SaaS, and then you see someone do copywriting, and they've made 2 million a month, and you're like, oh, and you're just flip flopping everywhere. Because you're comparing yourself to other people and they are not on the same race as you. And even if they're doing the same race as you, even if they're, say you're doing copyright and they're doing copyright, you're doing ecom and they're doing ecom, they might have started at a different point to you. And even if they start at an identical point as you, they're not you. It's not going to achieve things in the same rate as you. They're not going to have the same strength as you. They're not going to have the same weaknesses as you. They might know more than you. They might know less than you. Who cares? You're not comparing yourself to them. And that's what the Conor McGregor statement where he says, if you compare yourselves to others, you'll become bitter. Because you will. Because you'll wander around, you'll never achieve anything. But if you compare yourself to yourself, you'll become better. Because you stay focused, you stay in your lane, you stay consistent, and you continuously try to push yourself against the normal you to keep getting better day in and day out. That's 10 minutes. Been good, cool. I've been Keenan. Peace.